Please enjoy our feature presentation. The Little Green Dress presents Traditions and Legacies. Special guest, Dave Tolliver. Hello, and welcome to The Little Green Dress presents Traditions and Legacies. And today, I have my guest, Dave Tolliver. He's going to come on here and talk to us about his family's tradition. And Dave Tolliver is from the 90s group Men at Large. Hi.
What's up with it?
How are you?
I'm good. How about yourself?
I'm doing good. This is much better. I can hear you much better.
Yeah.
Yeah. So introduce yourself to everyone.
My name is Jose Ribalto. I am from the coffee making company. No, my name is Dave Tolliver from the 90s R&B group Men at Large, discovered by the late, great Gerald Levert. And I am here with you guys today on the Little Green Dress. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? Yeah.
Yes, thank you so much. I just want to thank you so much for doing this with me. This is our first time meeting. And,
Mm-hmm.
I've talked to you on the phone, and you have just such a lovely spirit and such a lovely personality. It's almost like I know you already. Like, I just really like it.
You know, I get that. I think that's my grandmother gave me that. She passed me that growing up, and it just has been instilled in me because some of the same things I used to say to her about why are you doing that? It's the Lord. I mean, I guess she just kind of dumped that into me, and I guess I encompass the same ways of moving.
We'll see.
Tone, what up?
And see, and
Terry Bell.
exactly what we're talking about. Just traditions and the past and what your parents and grandparents have poured into you and what you're going to take that and pour into your family. So tell us a little bit about your family's traditions.
I know as a kid, man, I know one of the biggest things that I've been talking about with my cousins the other day is just how I think our mothers and fathers, their generation, dropped the ball. Our grandmothers, I'll be 50 next Thursday, and I'm telling everybody that because I'm expecting gifts.
Okay.
So I'm dead ass serious. So I'm
I know.
expecting gifts because I'm always and this is I normally don't talk about this, but I'm always giving somebody some singing for free or doing this, doing that. And I see people that say, "What's my birthday today? If you don't mind gifting me," I'm going that route. I'm putting my cash app up all day Thursday. I'm
Yes.
I'm doing a free concert that night. So
Really?
oh yeah, it's an all request like your top five favorite Men at Large or Dave Tolliver records. If you're a true fan, you'll know what to do. So I'll read the 45 and then the last five I'll perform. You know what I mean? And then I'll list it. But
Oh, well,
traditions,
I want to
yeah,
see
go ahead.
that.
Or you see it. I'm doing it live on Facebook and Instagram. I've been going back and forth so much the last 2 weeks. I haven't had a chance to really promote it, but I'm gonna stick it all week. I'm gonna go all the way in.
Yeah, you have
Uh,
to do it. You have
yeah.
to do it. Yeah, okay. So I'm just really tripping because I really want to be at that because I have a little story to tell you. I think I told you before, but I met you guys a long time ago. You
Mm.
guys came to
Dayton.
Dayton, Ohio, and you
We
had a
from Ohio, so
huh?
I'm from Cleveland, so it's all
Yeah,
good.
right.
Yeah.
So you came to Dayton, Ohio. I don't know how old we were. I have to ask my best friend, but we was able to take a picture with you guys.
Mm.
We took a picture, and she had a boyfriend at the time who was just madly in love with her, and he was so in love with her, so jealous that he saw the picture and tore it in half.
Mm. I get
Now,
that.
I think I have that piece, but I don't know where it is. But when I run into it, now that we are friends, I'm definitely going to send it and show it to you.
We'll take a new one.
That'll be even
Yeah,
better.
we'll take a new joint. Yeah, I mean, we'll get a
Okay.
new one popping.
That'll
But
be
I'm trying to think of traditions and stuff. I mean, some of the traditions and things that we did. People weren't working. We always ate dinner together. Sunday, especially Sunday dinner.
hmm
Um, holidays, Christmas, Thanksgiving, different sides of the family did different things. But I know on my dad's side of the family, it was tradition that morning we would go to my great aunt's house, and then that dinner that night we would go to my great grandmother's house for dinner, and in between that you did whatever. Thanksgiving was pretty much we went to my great grandmother's house, but it was always a tradition that we sat down and we ate together, which I see today a lot of things that I tried to keep that going in my house, and it worked pretty much so far. But then when my son got older, his schedule was so busy at school. He would go to school at 7:30 and we get home to like 10, 11 o'clock sometime, and so that kind of broke the tradition.
hmm
um Family reunions. I know a lot of people still, oh my God, I miss that so much. And that's why I say my parents' generation dropped the ball with
hmm
with my family, because it's like now people are like, okay, so what we gonna do? What we gonna do? What we gonna do? And I'm like, okay, let's get it. Like I'm the oldest on both sides, so like everybody kind of, I'm like, man, y'all better help me.
Right. Right.
Then you get the resistance from people. Like a couple years ago I wanted to do something, and I said, well, we're going to be in town in Cleveland. This is for my dad's house. We're going to be in town in Cleveland. I said, I'm trying to get everybody together because we haven't done it in a while. I said, come on. So a couple of them was like, well, do we have to meet at this person's house or that person? Can we do it? I'm like, man,
They. I don't know why it's like that.
niggas is what
Right.
it's called. Niggas. That's what that's called, being a nigga. A real nigga.
I
That's what
don't
that's called,
know.
being a nigga.
I
A
don't know
nigga.
why families go through that because it's about the fellowship and being together, but they want to go with the little small things that is so minuscule. And whose ever house that they didn't want to go over at the time, we living in the COVID time. That person can go
Right.
touch the surface and then go to the hospital and you will never see that person again.
Right. And I mean, I've seen so much of that over the years. It's just man, like I was telling my nephew today, his mom, my sister, she passed in December, and my best friend passed away in August of 2018. I said, damn, man, I'm going to turn 50, and two of my favorite people on this whole wide world, on this planet, are not going to be here to celebrate with me in the blink of an eye. And neither one of them were 50 years old. It's just,
Oh my
uh,
goodness.
yeah, man. So, I think people need to get off the jealousy stuff, and just love. And even if you don't want to be around that person, I think it's important that you don't punish the kids because of your stupid things like that. I say the kids, at least if you're not gonna come, drop the kids off. Let the kids play.
Do
Let
you
them get to
know
know each other.
that is so important because it has been so many times that I've gone to reunions and I don't even know any of my cousins because, in our past, in my family, we did get together,
Hmm.
older people, they got together, they played cards, they, in the basement, drinking beer. And they
Yeah,
did that. They
more
rotated
than
over
beer.
aunt's house. Yeah,
Hmm.
we did that. And so we got to know our cousins. But now it's just not the same. Everything is not the same. And that's why I just keep going on and on about it, because it's
Yeah.
so important. So now let me ask you the legacy question. So, um, if you were to leave this earth today, what legacy would you want to leave?
They say Dave Tolliver's an ass. No, you know what, one thing that I learned that really touched my heart, I just got my college degree in 18. And
Congratulations.
thank you. And they threw me a graduation party, and some of my friends flew in town to surprise me. And my wife wanted them to roast me, but nobody would do it. They was like, I can't. And I was like, come on, man. Like, as much as we joke on each other and I get the best of everybody most of the time, it's like, come on, just get me. You know what I'm saying? Like, and I was drunk anyway, so I was like, come on. And I think that the consensus thing that I get from people, and like I've been doing this 50 facts in 50 days before I turn 50, everybody has just had like the nicest things to say about me, as far as like me being a giver,
Mm,
me always just always giving more than I receive. Um, and that's what my therapist told me. It was like you got to take some time for yourself. Your cup is empty, and you know you have to take time for yourself. And I think, the thing that I always do is I always make time for everybody else, and I don't address my own situations. And sometimes that'll give you, you'll be irritated, you'll be grouchy,
yes.
you'll be, and because people were like, man, you 50, you barely got any grades, and I'm like, man, because I don't really trip, and it's like I don't even really get a chance to concentrate on the stress because I got to go from this one to that one to that fire to that fire. That's fire. It's like I swear to God, if we were on the airplane, I would be the black box because I have everybody's information inside me. I mean, I definitely would say that he was a giver. He cared. Giver and the care is
Hmm.
the same thing, but he just was. I mean, just always there. It was never a time where you asked him to do something that he wouldn't do it. And I can't even think of any more adjectives. Giver, care. They definitely would
Those
say
are
I was. They
big.
they definitely would say that. I do have my days. Like one of my 50 facts in 50 days were that sometimes I'm rude, I'm loud, I'm abrasive, I'm difficult to deal with at times.
We
But
all
for the
can be that. We all can be that.
yeah, but for the most part, I'm a good guy. I was I try. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
But I'm quick to admit my flaws.
Hmm.
Like when we talking about it, I might say "f you," but then I come back and be like, "Oh man, my bad. You was right, man. I just people don't want to hear that mess sometimes. You
Hmm.
know, yeah. I mean, but my brother on here, handyman, pretty Tony, he said I'm an inspiration. I would go with that too. Like I don't think about that stuff because I really don't talk about myself a lot,
Hmm.
and I guess to some people you would say because I've been through a lot, and my original partner Jason, and he said that to me too, Tone. He said, "Man, I just admire how strong you are. Yeah, strong, a giver,
Hmm.
um, a person, just a man that always stood in the gap for anybody.
That is
Um,
so big,
you know, um,
huge.
it's just and,
Because
and
some
I don't and
don't
I
have
don't think
that.
about the reciprocity a lot. I just sometimes I will, but then I jump back into action again. I got to jump out the toll booth and put on my cape to help somebody else. And I really don't think about the reciprocity. There have been times where I have thought about it, and it has hurt my heart to see at times, certain people that you would expect them to give back or to be there for you when you
Hmm.
need them. And it's like, damn, when I get into a critical situation, it's like,
Go,
it's like,
go.
yeah, man, you know what I mean? But I've gotten used to that. But, there are a couple people that I probably would talk to, but shit. So, excuse me, as soon as I turn around, then I'm administering advice to them too. You know what I mean? So I'm cool with it. For me, I'm gonna tell you, I didn't realize this till probably about 10, 11 years ago. Is that certain events that happen in your life, you don't even know that it's propelling you into a situation to be prepared for whatever you're about to endure. Because watching my sister pass last year and just a couple other things that have just been happening is just letting me. Because I had to watch it, like it was a TV show, and it's like your life is pretty much written already. And it's like whatever choices you make, there's already an ending or a guy or whatever's going to happen. Like no matter what, you
Hmm.
can like I believe in life. You get these choices like let's make a deal, door one, two, or three, and
Yes.
whatever door you pick, you have to deal with the fallout or the glory of whatever it may be. But
Hmm.
whatever path you take, your story is already written. So let me go back. I guess I was built this tough because the day that Gerald wrote that song "So Alone" for me to sing to my mom when she passed, I stepped into an energy that I wasn't able to control. And I'm just realizing this about 10, 11 years ago. When he wrote that song, it wasn't just for me and my mother, but man, he put me, man, doggone you, Gerald, for that. It's like, but I guess my life was already okay. You wanted this, you got this. Okay, you going in here. Okay, I'm gonna give you this fame, but you also gonna have to take on this as well. And
Mm-hmm.
man, it has been a hell of a ride. Dealing with. I've had so many losses from people to ups and downs with careers to a botched surgery that I had. Yeah, man, they messed up my nerves and it was a whole process with that, but I still walked away victorious. And I see where people say that I'm inspiration and stuff, and in spite of, even when I was going through my thing, having to learn how to walk again, or having to deal with how I was going to be affected going forward with this injury that can't be corrected, it's like shit. I you know
But you made it through. You made it through.
Yeah, man, it's been a rough ride, but
How
I
did you?
mean,
Can you tell me how you met Gerald Levert? He's like one of my favorites, like the teddy bear. Like his father was my favorite first, only because my mother played all their music in the basement while she cleaned up. So the OJ's is everything. But how did you meet Gerald Levert?
um, well, let's say this. I started off in radio at WZAK in Cleveland, so I was always a kid around the radio station. My uncle dad, which I call him, he was one of the top programmers in the nation for 40 years, and he would always have me at the radio station. So in the process of me meeting all these celebrities and being around, Um, my mom, she worked for the government for 19 years before she passed away, and she also worked part time at this record store in Cleveland called Fillmore East. And Gerald, back then, you had the celebrities. We had to do radio. You had to do the radio station. You had to do the
Mm-hmm.
record stores,
Mm-hmm.
and you had to do the other little meet and greets because there was no Instagram, Facebook,
Right.
or Snapchat back then.
Right.
So it were these 3 or 4 state stores in Cleveland, which was Dials Rapid Creations, Fillmore East, Nicky's, and Downtown Records, and Squeaky D's. You had, when you come to town, if you didn't go to those 5 retailers, your career would be altered because Cleveland was a powerful market, even though it was small.
Mm-hmm.
And Gerald was always hanging out. He would always hang out up there. So I met him. I probably had to be about 12, 13, 14 about the time I met him.
Oh,
And,
okay.
and it was just how he found us though was crazy. One of the guys that worked at the radio station, I'm jumping up some years, a couple years, we were singing. He was a singer, and he had a performance, and he had an after show. His name is Jeffrey Charles. He had an after party at his house,
Mm-hmm.
and Jason and I would always ride around with this little Casio keyboard with tape on the back of the thing on the batteries. And Gerald came, and they was like, sing, 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 sing. So we sang, and this is 1986. So I'm 16 years old at the time. Jason's 13, and they let him run wild with me all the time, because I was always out from the time I was 15. I worked late nights at the station, so we were always out. And then I went to school in the morning. So um, he was, after he heard us sing, he was like, "Yo, I'm gonna hook y'all up." But knowing the business now, I understand what happened. That was when the big throwdown, the first album with Pop 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 and Casanova and all that stuff was, they got enthralled right into the thing, and so we didn't see him again for another 3 years. And at the time, I was working with a group called Johnny O and the Sorcerer Crew. My guy that I was telling you about that passed away, my best buddy, believe it or not, I always say believe it or not, like big dudes can't dance. We were dancing for these guys,
Mm-hmm.
and we were called Big Step. That's what they called us. And we were coming out of rehearsal, and it was the same building that Gerald was recording in.
Mm-hmm.
And he came out. He said, "Yo, I've been looking for y'all. I got this idea for 3 big dudes that can sing, dance, and that are cute and this and all this whole thing he ran down.
Mhm.
And so this time it happened a little faster. A couple of weeks later, we went to the studio. We auditioned for him. He was there. Steve Russell from Troop was there. Rule Boys, and everybody that worked at the office there.
Mhm.
We all and I had a couple other guys, but they didn't. They didn't work out so
Right.
well.
Mhm.
Nah, and then the next day we had the audition for his dad, and his dad was approved. And then after that, 3 years later, '92, May of '92, Men at Large was born. First single, "Use Me," East
Mhm.
West Atlantic Records, and that's that whole story there. But yeah, that
Wow.
song,
Timeless.
but,
Timeless.
yeah, but it put me in a position, and I don't think that you're chosen to do anything unless the powers deem you strong enough to do it.
Of course.
And
Of course.
so I have seen some crazy stuff. I have with that doggone song. I have been to funerals. Like, okay, one time we did a funeral where a lady had killed herself, and the guy was this big time dope dealer, and he paid us to come sing the one song, some good money. So we went, and man, he had us come to the funeral home. He was a street dude. Had us come to the funeral home the night before. Him in between us, arms around us, standing over the casket. And I'm like, ooh, I had dreams about that for 2 weeks. But yeah, man, I can tell you another funny story about that record. Friends of mine up in Des Moines, Iowa, my boy's son, he got murdered. He was in the wrong place at the wrong time.
Mhm.
And he really was, because he wasn't a street dude like that. And I go and I'm singing they play the record. I start singing, "We were together." Everybody starts screaming like it was a concert. Like, so by the time I got to the end of the first verse, I was like, yo, turn that off. I mean, just that song is so, but it threw me into an energy that I wasn't able to. And had I really understood some years ago, I probably might have been doing more outreach or more. I might have changed my my degree to counseling or something like that. You still can do that. You know what I mean? But I mean,
Mhm.
it's like, damn. Every time I turn around, I'm like, okay, who's on the 12 o'clock today? Will you have your friend such and such? Oh, okay. Tell them, come on in. I mean, it's you pick up the phone a lot, and then if you see somebody calling that you haven't seen in a long, heard from in a long time. You're like, oh man, what's wrong? What's going on? I pick up, what you want? You
Right.
gotta be like, you got some money for me, or is somebody dead? You know what I'm saying? You be
Um.
scared. You be
Mhm.
scared to touch the phone. But yeah,
Mhm.
that's me. Enough about me. What about you? No, go ahead.
um. Well, me, I am a children's book author, and I've written 9 books.
I was joking. I know about you.
Oh, okay. Well, that's really all the questions that I have. Is just you answered the legacy question. I was just so curious to find out the whole story behind how you
and
guys came
and
together.
I'm trying to, not to cut you off, but I'm trying to instill more, our own legacies here, where we're doing things as a family. Even if we're fighting or at odds, we still know that the objective is love.
Mm-hmm.
And no matter what, you get past that and you do what you do. Like, we didn't do a lot of family vacations, so I don't care where, even if we just going an hour or two away, or sometimes I'll just say, hey, we gonna go to the outlet malls. Everybody got this cap on spending. We gonna get a room. We gonna order food. We gonna hang out. It's just something that we do, and you know, uh, I'm just trying to make life a little, richer for my children. I'm gonna tell you one thing that I really didn't understand, and I just thought was a crock of garbage, but it's a very relevant point to tag team to our youth today.
Okay.
Is that as hard as we try to make it physically better for our children, i.e., the way you live, where you live, how you live, this technology is raining down on them mentally, emotionally, and spiritually in ways that we probably could never understand. And I had a falling out with one of my kids, and they sat down and they told me this, and I'm like, well, how in the hell? can you let something that's not really real affect your mental or the way you think or react to things? And I'm like, we're at war.
Mm-hmm.
Our parents didn't have it nearly as hard raising children as we do because we are fighting. I don't want to call it the enemy because everything in technology is not, but
Bad.
technology is the thriller and the killer. Technology is the thriller part of it is that it has availed everyone to be who they want, to say what they want, to do whatever they want. My partner Terry Bell told me about something today where you can connect it to your studio stuff and you can talk to it and tell it what to do and it'll play it or whatever. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, yo, that's gonna kill the game for a lot of people that have worked hard at their musicianship.
Mm-hmm.
It is already taken away the value of being a great singer in the entertainment business, but it is taken away from
Everything.
it's taken away, and the killer part of it is it's taken away the passion of everything that we do. Like you don't have to get up to do anything. You could just people are just sitting in their living rooms going on YouTube and not developing any talent. My daughter was watching some lady on YouTube that's getting 20, 30 million views.
What happened?
Sounds with she's making sounds with her mouth. I'm sorry, I didn't turn my notifications off while I was on here.
That's that
We're not gonna have
ASMR.
we ain't gonna have the problems here. You know what I mean? And
Right.
so you know
That's hmm
but
that ASMR. People are really into those noises and stuff like that. But yeah, all you do is have a little idea and just want, and they just famous just like that. I mean, you don't have to go through the trenches anymore. But if you do go through the trenches, it's a different type of trench that we
yeah.
had to go through. We did like grassroots stuff. All they do is
Yeah.
all on your phone.
And the crazy thing, the babies that they have, that's all they're gonna do is that. So
Right.
I was doing a radio show, the Dave Tolliver show at a station here, where I really focused on independent artists, and I would have a new artist come every week, and we would focus on them, as well as I really don't like talking about the topics because I don't like being cliche. I go in there, have fun. We do. It's called Party and BS with Purpose and Passion. That's what we do.
Okay.
And one of the girls came in there, and the two girls, they were one of them was from Africa, and her body and her skin and everything is just perfect. And the other one was American girl, and she was slim, but she wore a lot of makeup. But you can tell if she took it off, she still was pretty.
Mm-hmm.
And the one girl from Africa said she thanked me so much for the things that we fed into them because she said she was having panic attacks before she came inside. And I'm like, why? She said from stuff she was seeing on social media. And I'm like, okay, I get it though, because I had to tell my kids, I said, the things that you're watching on TV, you have to pick through it and decipher what's real and what's fake. I
Mm-hmm.
said, if it's fake, you have to take it for what it really is, and you have to decipher what it is. If you can't tell what it is, then you really don't need to watch it. I said because you're bringing that into your everyday and you're carrying that with you.
Mm-hmm.
And I said I tell people like I did the eulogy at my sister's funeral, and I said I was and the funeral it was about her, but it was for everybody. And I said, be careful what you're putting in your body. And I
Mm-hmm.
told my daughter that one time, and she said, Dad, it's just a cookie. And I said, I'm not talking about the food, but I'm talking about the things that you're watching,
Mm-hmm.
the things that you listen to. If you can't block it out from it just being a pleasant noise or it just being something that you're grooving to, but a lot of these kids and even people, older people, are believing the things that they're hearing, believe and trying to implement it. So it doesn't work for everybody like that. And I'm just, the people that you're around,
Mm-hmm. The company
watch,
you keep.
watch what you're putting into your body. Those people are, if they're toxic, if they're negative, yeah, you can love them, but you can love them from a distance, man. You have to, man, and it's just the same old principles that they used to whoop us for when we
Mm-hmm.
were kids. It's just like I'm trying to tell you, like I'm not trying to kill your fun, but I'm trying to save your spirit.
From that.
I'm trying to save you from, and it's not even that's not even religion or God, but I'm just trying to save your spirit because you'll lose your mind and you'll get caught up in this stuff, and it will make you feel sick. You'll be sick more
Stressed
than you're
out.
healthy. It's just you'll
Mm-hmm.
be, so I'm trying to instill new ways of thinking, new legacies, new traditions. Well, not new legacies. My legacy is gonna be what it is, but to
Mm-hmm.
teach them that they want to leave a legacy behind. Yeah, I went to a funeral of one of my cohorts, and his kids talked about him so bad, but they said, but he finally got it together. Like I don't want a service like that.
Right.
They
Right.
talk about, even though we all know, they was like this, even though we all know he wasn't the greatest of father, but he got it together in time. I was like, I I,
Whoa.
I felt bad for my man, but it's like you make those
But
beds.
you made that choice. The same thing. The choice. Door number one. Door number two. Door number three.
Yeah, and
And
these
so
and
you did
these
the right
these
door.
and sometimes these kids, it takes them a minute to forgive. They're different, and
Mm,
I'm still learning that as we go day by day. So it
yeah.
is what it is. The little green dress, everyone. Take it off.
Thank
Let's see
you.
what's under the dress.
You are so crazy. Thank you so much. I just want to thank you so much for doing this with me, and I hope one day that maybe I can help you. Maybe I can come on your show and talk about the little green dress. Or you only do artists and
Nah,
stuff like
I
that,
do
right?
everybody. I did Corey Minor Smith. Her platform is mental health, mental illness. She had a really interesting story. We can definitely do it. Like I do independence and stuff like that on Tuesdays. I've been kind of out of whack since like the blackout happened. I blacked out for a week. I blacked out for like 2 weeks because it was really getting. I was doing Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, and
Right.
so now I'm back to Mondays. I do a music on my Facebook on Dave Tyler. I do music Mondays where I don't know who the artist is going to be, but it's a friend of mine for about 30 years. Her mom used to work for BET, and she was always around music, and she has this really great ear for music.
Hmm.
So I say, well, let's do an artist every week, and the last we've done it for 3 weeks, and every week she's impressed me, and that's my thing, that's
Hmm.
my word, my tagline, impress me. And then man, she's come up like last week we had Ernie Isley's daughter, Alex Isley. We played her music and just kind of introduced her to the people, and it was kind of dope. So yeah, and I do
Okay.
that on my Tuesdays. I was doing interviewing independent artists, and then I had Talent Tuesdays where I had people come on and just do a talent, and whoever won at the end of the night, I gave them $50. Sometimes out my pocket. Sometimes it got to like about 200 some odd dollars because you have some of my industry friends on there and they putting up money. And then Thursday is a national artist. You know what I mean? So I'm getting ready to take it. I'm coming back with it. I don't know. I'm probably gonna start this week maybe and see what happens because I really got disgruntled with Instagram, and so I'm gonna take it to Facebook. I like Facebook. That's where you get on Facebook, you can get 1,000, 2,000 views immediately. As
Yeah.
we're on Instagram, it's a different party. You got to
Yeah.
work a
It's
little
a different
harder over here.
game. Yeah.
Yeah,
It's
you got to
it's
work a
it's
little
a
harder
younger
over
it's a younger crowd and the older people where we are. They usually on Facebook.
here.
But like
Hmm.
I said, I don't want to keep you too long. But you have done such a wonderful job, and thank you so much for getting it back in touch with me. And I
Yeah,
really do hope that we can work together again soon.
I got you. I
Okay.
got you. I definitely
Well.
got you. We're gonna set up that Tuesday for you. Talk
Okay.
about that book, that little green dress. We're gonna
Yeah.
see what's up under there.
Yes. Let's talk about it. But you. You are so crazy. Ladies and gentlemen, Dave Tolliver, and thank you so much, and I'll talk to you soon.
All right, take it easy.
All right, bye
Bye bye.
bye. Thanks so much for watching. Please like and share the Little Green Dress Presents Traditions and Legacies. Also, click and subscribe